Chronoyantra by Prithvish Mukherjee, the second book in the series after Chronoyantra. Chapter 9, The Immortals. Shibu and his partner Vak have just returned from a visit to the past, and now they're meeting up with their friends in Amluk Dara, a Buddhist stup located in what was once known as Gandhar. Hello and welcome to Amluk Dara, a quiet but friendly voice speaking from somewhere near their feet startled the two visitors. Please follow the light that is showing you the way. A line of light appeared near their feet, flashed a couple of times, and then started to move down the steps into the courtyard. Shibu and Vak followed it as it snaked its way through the courtyard and stopped at a door near the periphery. The door opened automatically and they walked inside. There was a long, dimly lit corridor, and the light at their feet led them through it. They sensed the floor of the corridor was sloping down, and they were going round in a circle until finally they were coming up again. After being led along by the light for what seemed like hours, but in reality was only a few minutes, they emerged in the hollowed out chamber inside the stup. They were in a perfectly cylindrical hall with a roof that curved up high over them. Waiting for them were the hermit, Dr. Abhi, and Manasi. Manasi Masi! Shibu shouted in glee as he recognized the synthetic sentient who had materialized itself as his mother, Leela, throughout his childhood years until he was old enough to accept the fact that his mother was no more. Welcome, dear. Welcome home. She hugged him tight and then turned to Vak. And so this is Vak, your partner. Welcome. Vak tried to hug her as well, but her hands almost went through the image, but eventually found a faint resistance as if she was holding a thin rope. Sensing her confusion, Manasi explained, Don't be disappointed, my dear. You'll soon realize that Shibu is so very special with his senses that he can sense stuff nobody else can. You do not have to tell me, Manasi Masi, Vak replied, adopting the honorific for aunt that Shibu had used. I know exactly how far ahead he is from all of us. Good. Now that you have followed our signals here, it must have been a long, hard journey for the two of you. We could have flown here, but Shibu wanted to take the hard way. Masi, what is that in the center of the hall? Shibu pointed to a gleaming crystal casket within which was lying a golden orb studded with jewels. That is a relic of the Buddha himself. Xuanzang claimed that it was brought from Kushinagar and has been preserved here for over 3,000 years. Amazing. The visitors walked up to the artifact and admired it. It's been around for so many years. It lends a certain aura of sanctity to this hall. Why do you think we abandoned the Persepolis after investing so much time in it? Dr. Avi spoke for the first time. And moved to Amluk Dara? Why indeed? And why did you bring us here? You must be tired after that long trip. Please freshen up and have some food first. Then we will join you. Manasi, you haven't changed at all. Shibu and Vak had just finished an excellent kalash meal of walnut bread garnished with hot melted butter, cottage cheese, apple sauce, and local grape wine. The two young kalash kids who served them reminded Shibu of his first visit to Gandhar, when he had stayed with Yasir, Zara, and their two daughters, who gave them company while his parents went off to attend that symbology conference. I am not carbon, my dear. I change by choice, not out of necessity, like aging. For a moment, Manasi took on a whole slew of forms, from a teddy bear to a bird of paradise to a rotating cube, and back to the shape that Shibu was most familiar with. I want you to be my mother again, Mansi. There was a tinge of sadness in Shibu's voice as he remembered how he could play with his mother looking Manasi in his childhood. That's why you are here, sweetheart. But we will do better this time. But before that, tell me, how was your visit to the past? Good, but not good enough. Kalki gave us the slip. We could not track her down. And why do you think you failed? The hermit smiled. I suppose it was my fault. I gave the game away. Vak admitted to her role. That is wrong. It was not at all your fault. Kalki knew about your simulation long before you gave it away. Hang on. The Kalki that we met was a simulation of the real Kalki, and the simulated Kalki knew that it was a simulation. That is recursive. No, it is the brilliance of Dr. Pema's predictive psychology. The simulation was as good as the original in deducing things, and it figured it out itself. But it played along, making a fool of us. It was you who wanted to play along. It was you who was booting up Lattice each time and checking it out. Why would you blame it for what was essentially your experiment, your game? Oh, so the whole thing was a charade? Everything was a charade, my dear. If you have studied Vedanta, you'd know that the world around us is a charade, an illusion, a maya that obscures us from the reality of the truth. Why? Why would the truth be obscured? That is a long story, my dear, and one that is too big and complex to be described in a little post dinner tete a tete like this. Thank you for listening. If you like science and technology and you have an interest in Indian spiritual traditions, you will love this science fiction book, Chronoyantra, and its predecessor, Chronotantra. Do buy it, you'll like it. For more information, please look at the website. Thank you.